were, let's say, 15 years old. You were 15 years old. Almost all of you. You guys are very fortunate because I just learned how to cycle only about a month ago. It was an act of courage of me. And all this time, I didn't know how to cycle. All this time, I drove BMW. It's not the prestigious car. It's bitching, moaning, and whining. Good evening, area governor, district officers, and fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests. I'm happy to be here today to share with you the lessons about life that I learned from how I learned cycling. Total, there will be 3 lessons that I want to share with you. Let me ask you another question. How many of you has been spanked or caned when you were a kid, when you were young? Spanked or caned? You know, guys, it's also a very fortunate thing. All this time, I blame my parents for not pushing me to learn how to cycle. When they asked me to pedal, I didn't want to do. What I did is I just bought my pedal. So all this time I envied my friends. I envied them for being able to cycle, and I blame my parents for not teaching me the right things. This is the first lesson that I wanted to share with you about living. Stop blaming, start living. What does that mean of start living? It does not always mean that you live a comfortable life. In fact, sometimes you have to be doubtful when you are living. One writer, Paulo Coelho, wrote in his book, when you cease doubting, you stop moving forward. So living is also about pursuing your dream. What is the one thing, what is the act of courage you need to do? How will you live, move forward from who you are right now? Now first, I was so nervous when I decided to start cycling. I was so afraid that I will fail, I will fall, people will look at me, and I will be so embarrassed. But it's just a lesson I learned. I'm really thankful that a friend of mine, Colin, who is also here, he has pushed me to learn how to cycle. He accompanied me the first time I'm learning cycling. And it was not an easy process. When I look at the hump, I was so afraid. I told myself I was unprepared to face a hump. So I just stopped when I'm facing a hump. When I saw other people look at me, I thought of what will they think of me. How an adult like me do not know how to cycle. I was so embarrassed, and it also stopped me. When I went through a bumpy road, I also told myself I made an excuse to fail because the road was imperfect, so I have an excuse not to being able to go through it. And when I went through a slightly downward slope, I fell down. Painful? Yes, it was painful. But you know what? The pain is not as bad as how I always fear of living, how I always fear of start cycling. Now the mark has left off. The pain has left off, I have recovered, and now I can cycle. When you pursue your dream, your heart might trouble you. Your heart may make you nervous. You might worry what will happen, the uncertainty that you will face. And this is one thing that I want you to tell your heart. When your heart troubles you, tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. tell your heart that you have to go on, that you can go on. So this is the second lesson I learned about living. That you have to stop worrying and start living. It doesn't matter if you are unprepared or you have a lot of things you don't know how to do. But the point is that you have to start living. Just now I asked you two questions. One, whether you have learned how to cycle. One, whether you have been strength or cane. What I want to share with you, one represents your strength, one represents your talent, and another one represents your challenges, your limitations, your failure and mistakes. But both of them are something that you can be thankful of, because it's something that you can make you move forward. So this is one thing that I need you to do. Be thankful, be gratitude of who you are, and stop comparing to one another. For each of you, the act of courage will be different. Maybe some of you want to learn something, singing, baking, playing piano or anything else, or it's about relationship, something that you have to deal with some other people, you have to work with some other people. Or maybe it's about career and business or some other thing. Now, I'd like you to pick a partner next to you quickly. Just share one act of courage that you think you want to do. I give you about 20 seconds. Okay. So I'd like to conclude this presentation by saying that stop blaming, start living, stop worrying, start living, and stop comparing, start living. For me, it's start cycling, but for you, it can be some other thing. But start doing, start living. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob, Andrew. I also love cycling, but till now I cannot manage to do it because the fear of falling. And with this size of fall, the impact will be great, so I dare not to do it. Our second speaker will be presenting a project for how to say it. She is our current treasurer. For the objective of speech, may I request an evaluator, competent communicator, competent leader, Sienna Lazora, to please read the objectives for speech.
Project 4, how to say it. Objective, select the right words and sentence structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately and vividly. Second, use rhetorical devices to enhance